Hey family, hey, we are doing something different. I have moved. I'm putting an arch here. I'm starting to get this area together. So I put an arch here. Let's start there.
And why gave me a job?
And I'm gonna get a blackberry here and then let it vine up this way. I got the figs. I got a fig here and a fig here. Then I got a peach here and a peach there. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to make this a main runway. When my greenhouse get replaced, I feel like I'm going to have it to where you can walk straight into the greenhouse from this way. I'm getting more arches. I'm going to do another arch here. So it'll be two arches because what I'm thinking is I can do climbing stuff here, but I can also do tomatoes and stuff like that that might need to have the support. The indeterminates, they can be up against the fence and still have it support. And things that vine is going to go straight up and do its thing anyway. So it's going to be here. It's going to be an arch. There's already an arch here. I think I may lower it a little bit because what I also realized is so far off the ground that when plants are starting, I have to wait for a good minute for it to grow back up, like grow up before it can actually attach. So I think I'm gonna maybe level it down, go down maybe one or two notches, and then I feel like it'd be better if it was about right here. So if I have starter plants that needs to lean on it for the support, we have that also. So there's gonna be two here. These beds are not the same, so I'm not going to do any arches here. These are different beds, so I'm not going to do anything here. Sweet potatoes are going to go there. Got sweet potatoes going there. As you can see, I've been cleaning up, y'all. This weather been so crazy. Here, I'm going to have my corn, so this is going to be a bed of corn. I'm going to do an arch here. You see, I'm starting to get my posts ready. I'm going to do an arch here. This is where that original arch from the front was. But I'm going to go ahead and put the T-post arches here. The game plan is at this point, to some level, we will be walking into the greenhouse at that point. Can y'all see that with me? We're going to, of course, clean up this. I'm going to change out the beds. Everything is actually doing okay. I am struggling with trying to keep everything warm. But we got spinach back here. We got the onions doing good. The cabbages, I'm thinking about just go ahead and pulling them so I don't have to, and just wait it out till I get everything new. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to have to take all the soil out of here to even move the beds, because if now the greenhouse is facing this way, these beds are going to have to go sideways or however I want to go with it on the inside. Let me also show you this. What I plan on doing is, this is my old hoop house. Remember in the beginning I kept saying that the wind kept blowing the tarp thing off. I did order another one, and what I think I'm going to do is, since this tree is gone now, all the branches and stuff won't be falling on it. I think I'm going to clean up this area, or have my boy clean up this area. Have that, and that is where I'll go ahead and put all the stuff from the she shed, my trees, my lemon trees and stuff that I'm protecting that was originally in the greenhouse. I can put them in there to protect them for a while and add other things just as well. That is the vision that I'm having right now. Here, eventually, that's going to get grind down. And then what I plan on doing, I really, really, really would like to get like maybe 4 or 5 chickens and have like a little chicken area run right here. But besides this is going to be, I'm going to get some more weed cloth and close all of this out, because I do not want these thorn vines are vicious, y'all. These things got thorns all over it. So game plan is to kill all those vines out and then have this as a decent walk area. Of course, I got to pick up all my poles and stuff, because this is the original stuff when I first if you've been following me, my original garden in Cartersville, I had made like hoop houses with that, like so I can cover it with shade cloth. What I did was I had all of those, and they were basically able to shade and take care of and protect whatever I was growing at that time. Here, it's a little different. The weather here, I was there, I think I was 8A. Here, I'm 8B. And believe it or not, the weather is completely different. That way, I was further up north. I was about 2 hours from Tennessee. So now here, I'm about an hour and a half, 2 hours from Savannah. So I went from straight to the top, straight back down to the bottom. But that is my game plan. Let me show you guys. You see, I got the T-post going. And I'm literally just saying, because I can plant certain things in the front that what I'm thinking is going to get the shading from the, it's going to get the shading from the arch. And so I have stuff here, which I honestly would say, I wouldn't mind like my bell peppers being here because, you know, when it gets hot, it does not like all that direct sun. And then on the flip side of this, on this side, I can do my hot peppers because the hot peppers don't mind. Or just do things that more so I can do tomatoes because again, the tomatoes don't mind the hotness as much as the bell peppers. And also what I want to do is I want to utilize more space in my bed because hear me out. If I go here and put, we'll say 2 tomatoes, I'll do 2 tomatoes and probably a basil, right? They can grow and be posted up on the trellis. On the flip side, I can have something either growing this way from one side up, which if I wanted to do, now I do understand this. It cannot be a heavy feeder. So what I'm thinking about is, depending on what I do, I can't have all heavy feeders on one side, right? Hear me out. What I can do is I can do 2 tomatoes over here, but if I wanted to grow, we're just going to say some butternut squash, I'll do the butternut squash on the opposite end, allow that to still grow up, and I can still utilize this space for, like I said, tomatoes, bell peppers, and if I wanted to then maybe put in little lettuces and things like that around the area, the space will be used even more. And y'all know I have a lot of tomatoes, so I'm thinking I can do tomatoes in one bed, tomatoes in another bed. Again, hot peppers and stuff like that on the outside. And then just vibe and go with it that way. Just trying to make sure that, one, like I said, this year I want to get as much use out of all the beds. I want to use as much space in all the beds. I want to have less gaps in a lot of the beds. What I'm also thinking is, I got the sweet potatoes. So with the sweet potatoes, I plan on, let me show you. So this is the sweet potato bed, right? With the sweet potato bed, I plan on getting like a fence right here, just something here. So once I wrap it in a couple of times, I'm thinking wrap it in maybe 3 times, right? And then allow it to just shoot up. And I'll have a trellis here so it can just shoot up, and I'll just make sure that the vines stay controlled in this area. I do not want vines everywhere. That's the other thing. I am thinking, my comfrey is doing so good with all this crazy weather. I done moved this thing and it is looking so good. I'm thinking watermelon here, but the only issue is then it'll vine out, and then I have the hardest time with making my way through here. Last time I had the watermelon and these beds, and it did really, really well. What I'm thinking is I could do watermelon in this bed and allow it to vine out all through here. So what I'm thinking is it can vine all through here, right? And I can also block it off a little bit, even if I block it off with toast and stuff. Here I got potatoes. I got potatoes in here, potatoes in here. I got flowers in there. We still have this bed that I want to do just flowers, garlic, and I may throw a couple of little things in there. Nothing too much. We got big plans for this year, y'all. I'm trying to see it through. And the biggest part about plans is for me Come on, Scooby, y'all. I love Scooby, y'all. No, side note, okay. For me is to not overwhelm myself to where I can't see it through. That's going to be the biggest thing because I can have a vision of how I want my garden. But if I overwhelm myself, I'm going to either start putting stuff out, putting stuff out, putting stuff out. And then as stuff start growing and things, it's like, dog it, I should have moved that from there to there. Or I'm trying to move stuff in the midst of watch trying to produce. And you don't want to do that. So that's what I'm thinking. Don't forget, we still have a whole other side over there. So that was the side last year I did all my bells. And I'm thinking about doing the same thing. We have 3 trellis over there. So my grapes, well, my muscadines did good, but it did not cover the whole trellis. This year it may, because it's going to be on like its 4th year. I think it's on like its 4th year, 3rd or 4th year. So it gave us plenty of muscadines. Let's go walk over there. It gave us plenty of muscadines last year. So, of course, I would assume that is going to give me even more this year as long as I am feeding it and doing what I need to do with it. So, same thing. What I've learned is the muscadines are heavy feeders. I don't want the bell peppers and stuff trying to feed off of the same soil. So what I did was, let me show you. What I did was, I went ahead and put garlic and stuff. So I put garlic, and because these are not going to be out here for the whole time. And then what I'll probably do, I'll probably just start throwing lettuce down like crazy, because if this gives me the shading that I want, because right now we can see it went halfway up, right? So if this gives me the shading I want, I can do lettuces and things like that won't bolt because it'll have some shading. I did try to put some topsoil and stuff in here. I threw some seeds now, so you never know. If something start popping up, I know it's going to be some topsoil. My Chinese cabbage, they died out, but I do have more. But that was my thing, because there's a grape here, there's a grape here, and there's another grape there, and there's another one there. So I think it's 4 grapes in all over here. I really, really would like, if this one right here don't do what I would like for it to do, I'll probably change this one out and get me a green grape like how you see in the stores, because so far everything has given me muscadine, and this one didn't give me anything that I can remember. So we're gonna see how that goes. My neighbor don't have as much work going on right here, so I might be good, which also killed off a lot of that grass because I was pulling the weeds like crazy. My game plan is to, again, because this bed has the grapes, I'm going to probably do all lettuces. But then over here, I can go ahead and do a trellis of any type of squash, zucchini, cucumbers, or whatever, and this will be fine. Then I have a trellis, like a small trellis, like running through here. What I had here last time was the green beans. You see how it was wrapping around? I had it wrapping around this, and it was doing really, really well. And then it got hit with the cold. So that can still be a game plan where I have beans in here, which y'all know is a nitrogen fixer. So if I am low on nitrogen, it should be good in this bed. So I can do beans and peppers here, because that did do well for me. My only problem with this bed is these beds did well, but it could have done better, I think. So what I think is, because I started the beds with the lasagna method, right? So underneath the beds were, underneath the soil, let's say that. Underneath the soil first it was the compost and sticks and boxes and all that stuff. So now a lot of that has broken down. I'm going to have to top up all the soil. So what I feel like is this year it should be even better. And I added worms in here. I just threw some worms in here. I went to Wally World and I threw worms in here. So I feel like that all should help for these beds this year. So I'm hoping to get an even better harvest. And like I said, there's 3 trellises. 2 of the trellises are taken over. But what I did last year, I also had green beans, green beans growing up on the opposite side over here. And they did well, but they did well because the grapes didn't meet it on the other end. So I don't know how long I have till the grapes actually start meeting it on the other end. But I may actually be okay. Let me show you. I had the grapes. I had green beans growing all through here. I had aroma tomato here that was doing really, really well. But it struggled because I put my oregano in here. Now, let me tell y'all something about that oregano. That oregano kept a lot of bugs down. But that oregano also went wild in his bed. And I didn't realize it. And I had to move it to a bucket. So when I pulled that oregano, it took 80% of my soil. So I had to replenish this. As you can see, there's, look at that. I've been putting eggshells, food scraps, all in this whole time. So I definitely think these beds are going to be really, really good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape up all the straw, add maybe one black cow, and maybe some more fertilizer or whatever. I don't know yet. Maybe another garden mix on top of it, and get it going. So again, we can do tomatoes over here again. But because I did tomatoes right here last time, I may switch it up and do it over here. The thing about it is, I know that the game plan is for me to get as much shade over here. So I need to make sure that I don't block it. But at the same time, I do want, tomatoes did really good. And again, I want to utilize these as much as I can. Because if I do a good tomato, then I can do a bell pepper. The problem last year is depending on the tomato, they take over, and then I can't have nothing growing up the way I want to. So we got a lot of processing to do. Slowly planning, not trying to move too fast. I definitely have still a couple of pots that I can utilize. I have a lot of cleanup to do, but there's no sense of cleaning up yet. Today is actually a beautiful day. The garlic over here, look at that, y'all. I'm really, really excited about this garlic. I really, really am. It withstand that cold, and they're doing really, really good. They really are. So I'm excited about this. But again, once this get done, I have something I can put in here. I can put whatever I want to put in here. But depending on what I have, again, I don't want to just start throwing stuff in. I want to strategically do everything. And I've added the drip line in so many of the areas now that I feel like it'll also get really, really good watering. So my apple trees are doing good. They're still holding on. I was a little concerned about this one because this one is not in the ground. But I did put this on it to protect it. And it seems to be doing fine. It seemed to be doing fine. Look, it still got leaves on it. Still didn't drop all those leaves. So I'm excited about this. I'm hoping to get a couple apples this year. Because now that these been in the ground for officially for at least 6 months. Easily 6 months at this point. So I feel like I should get, hopefully, let me not talk. I'm hoping that I get some apples this year. That'd be exciting. And peaches too, because I got peaches in the pots. Hell, I hope I get some of everything this year. But I definitely feel like the way to get that done is to plan strategically and slowly work on each bed, bed by bed, versus me running around trying to put something in here, something in here, something in here. So y'all come along, y'all grow with me. We're gonna get this stuff going. Right now we're just doing a cleanup game, and I'll see you guys next time. I need to clean up a little bit, organize a little bit. Like I said, I just did the arch and stuff, and I'm just gonna see what else I can clean up, just a little bit at a time. We are not getting overwhelmed this year, okay? And until next time, bye.